Good morning, welcome back to my channel. We are on a Monday morning. It is still very early in the morning, so everybody's still sleeping, but I have such a burning desire of making this video, and I want to dedicate this week to the week of how to market and price my art, especially pricing. I think I would spend 7 days straight talking about how to price my art. If you're interested in this topic, make sure that you hit the subscription button below if you have not yet, and hit the bell so that you don't miss any videos. I have been asked many times by very young, emerging pre-market artists, how to price my art, what is the best way, what is the right way, am I doing it wrong? So I think it's definitely one of the most crucial part of your strategy in becoming a professional artist is the pricing of your art. First of all, I want to say I'm not a specialist in pricing antiquities or masterpieces, this kind of taxation. That is a different world. I have taken some courses in my last year education during my MBA, Master in Business Administration. I've taken some courses on luxury products management and marketing. So I think I can use some of the things I've learned in the business school so that I can help you as an emerging young artist offering your products and push it to the market the right way. The first, no-brainer rule would be based on the historic records. Many companies are doing that. Imagine an iPhone 8 was sold at $800 when it was launched into the market, then an iPhone 10 could be sold at $1,000. It's just based on what the past generations of products, what price it was sold at, and if people actually bought it or not, and then this company can decide to adjust this product's the pricing so that it can find the optimum point between the supply and demand and everything else. So as an artist, it's the same. If in the history in the past that you have sold this piece of work at this size for this price, then you can always try to stick to this price until you realize perhaps the market has changed and you can adjust based on this. It's very easy to say you can base it in the past records, but if you don't have any past records, this can be very tricky. Here comes to the second rule of pricing. Look at your competition. Look at similar artists in your niche, or perhaps artists at your age in your region from the same art school. You can always find some kind of reference that you can relate to, and you can see how they are charging their customers, and you can say, okay, they are charging at this price, I'll try a little lower, I'll try a little higher, depending on many things, your experience, education, format and everything. You can't always find the artist that most similar to you, but you can use an average of a group of artists who are more or less similar to what you are working with. You can just see on average how much they're charging, just as a reference, so that you know if you are overcharging or undercharging your customers. The third way to price your art is a bit strange, I know, is to stick your finger in the air like this and feel. I know it's a bit tricky or it's a bit crazy. It's just to try to find a random price. If you may say you really have no reference, okay, just put a random price, $2,000, and see what people are reacting to this price. If they say, oh, that's too expensive, there's no way I can pay that much, okay, then you can consider lowering your price. If people just buy it without discussing the price, then aha, maybe next time I can try to raise the price and see how they react to it. You can just choose a base price and see how people reacting, perhaps do a survey, ask around to your potential customers, and you can see how much their price, and you can see how much you're charging and adjust to their expectations. Last, if you really have still no idea how much you should be charging, then very well, go to an expert, maybe an industrial professional like a gallerist or an expert in pricing, evaluating artworks. But then the thing is that make sure that you don't ask for someone outside of your region, because in New York, in Paris, perhaps the inflation, cost of living and everything is very different. The prices can be overly high, and I know emerging artists in New York could charge $25,000 for a piece of artwork, but here in Spain, an emerging artist would charge $2,500 for the same piece of art. Perhaps depending on your niche, the materials you're using, apart from the region you're living. So it really has a lot of different like factors that influence the price. Make sure you find an expert in your region and who is familiar with your niche so that you don't get like a wrong idea. Perhaps it's worth it to pay someone for this evaluation instead of asking on social media for free, because when you pay someone, you are paying for their neutral advice. There's no conflict of interest, and they are obligated for their professionalism. They're obligated to give you an honest opinion when they are paid. So I think it's worth it to pay anything from $50 to $500 for, let's say, a career advice, and it can save you a lot of like a detour and frustration, a lot of mistakes. So I think it's totally worth it for whatever you can afford and to get an expert opinion. So that's it for today. Tomorrow I will continue talking about how to price your art, what are the common mistakes. So stay tuned. See you in the next video.